neighbors. Welcome to another episode of Tipsy Neighbors. We are five friends with varied opinions and backgrounds. We openly and honestly discuss the subject of the day. No topic is off limits. In fact, if you'd like us to chat about something that's been on your mind, find us on the web at tipsyneighbors.com, on Instagram at The Tipsy Neighbors, or on X, formerly Twitter, at Tipsy Neighbors. Now let's get this episode started.
Okay, so from time to time, we talk about movies and television shows that we think that each other need to watch.
Correct.
And do any of us actually watch those things after someone suggests it?
Typically not, but we talk about it quite frequently.
If it's a cartoon, it's a great nap. That's my motto.
Who's suggesting cartoons?
I don't think I've ever watched cartoons.
Well, you know,
that's my cancer in the room.
Something comes out, like Disney typically releases a cartoon once or twice a year.
So you did not
Like a
watch
series?
Frozen?
Well,
Is that what
you're
you're
talking
saying?
about a
I do
series?
the obligated thing, right? Like I take my kids to go see it. Well, sometimes they're older now, so maybe they don't push it so hard. But it without fail, I think it started with like Kung Fu Panda, which I actually wanted to see. I'm a huge Jack Black
Those are
fan.
actually good.
I sometimes look like Jack Black, but
I look like
right
the
now.
panda, unfortunately.
But I just fall asleep. Like it does not hold my attention at all. So anyway, why don't we talk about like movies? Like what kind of
Movies in general.
Brad, for you example, like growing up, what was your favorite
So I grew up.
movie of all time?
So I grew up and I watched all the action movies. Like we got to watch rated R movies as kids.
Yeah.
And growing up in Utah, not a lot of people got to watch rated R movies as kids.
Yeah, that was not.
That
We
was
did
one of-
too.
That was not
that was
really
one
a
of the
thing.
bishop
Tell
questions.
everybody else what we were watching.
That was one of the
Oh,
bishop
yeah,
questions,
for
right?
sure.
When you go talk to the bishop at the
It
LDS
was?
faith, it was.
Is that what the
and
temple questions
Brad's
are? Are you
Brad's
watching
bishop.
rated
You
R
watch
I
rated
don't
R
remember ever being asked that question.
Me either.
Yeah. So we watched like one of my favorite movies growing up of all times was The Rock
Yeah.
with Sean Connery.
Connery.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it
Nicolas
growing up. I think I
Cage.
saw it as like
Yep.
an adult.
Oh,
but
that was
Yeah.
awesome. We watched it probably once a month growing up.
Awesome.
Like just we loved like the military stuff. Like obviously I served in the military later in life, but I think from a young
G.I. Jane.
age, G.I. Jane. Yeah, we watched G.I. Jane as kids.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
But yeah, as kids, we watched all the Army movies, the G.I. Janes, The Rock, the
How about Rambos? Did you guys watch the
Rambo.
Rambos?
Yeah, we watched every
Oh my
Rambo.
gosh. Those
Like,
are
these were not a
classics.
thing at my house.
At
These
least
are
twice.
classics
At
in my
least
house.
twice a year, we watched Rambo as a family. Like it was great.
Come gather around, kids.
Come gather around.
John Rambo's making his run through the town. Let's do this.
In fact, every Sunday, like our Sundays were pretty systematic every week. Every Sunday, you knew you had to go to church or you didn't eat.
Yep.
You ate the same damn meal every Sunday: roast beef, mashed potatoes,
You love
gravy. The only thing that changed was, do you
Can
have
of
green
hash.
beans or do you have corn? You know, like those were the only things that changed. And then after that, everybody kind of settled down. And then at nighttime, everybody got ready for bed, took showers, and then we watched a family movie. We made
Rambo?
We made popcorn. We watched Rambo. We watched
Aliens.
G.I. Jane.
Predator.
Those were horror type movies.
Oh,
We didn't
okay.
watch
All
those.
right, all right,
Those
all
were
right.
scary.
Those ones were off limits, but
If those were
Rambo
horror
killing
movies-
everyone totally fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I watched those
Rambo with an
horror movies.
M60 is fine, but Rambo in space with an M60 does not count.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
So, but I mean, those were our movies growing up. Like I loved, like The Rock was my favorite movie forever.
That's a good one.
It's a good one, yeah.
Classic.
So we watched stuff like that. We watched the Navy SEAL movies with what was the 2.5 Men guy, Charlie Sheen.
Okay.
Like he was in the Navy SEALs movie.
What movie was that?
It's literally called Navy SEALs.
Oh, I have not seen that.
But
Me neither.
it's an older movie. It's great. It's a bunch of shoot 'em up type movies. Like I still
You
love
guys
shoot
were
'em up movies.
really into shoot 'em up.
Shoot 'em up movies.
Military shoot 'em up movies.
See, I'm slightly
Yeah.
older, so that genre, those movies that we watch were like Young Guns with like Emilio Estevez and Charlie Sheen and Lou Diamond Phillips. Like we love those movies. Like especially the part where they're all high and the guy looks at the horse and he goes, "Hey dog, you see the size of that chicken?" Because they're just high on the peyote. Oh, it's so good.
What? So you're a little bit older. What your growing up movies? Like, what did you guys watch as families, or what was your favorite movies?
You know, similar stuff. Like just to comment on the Sunday thing, we would actually watch the Disney film that, you know, was typically on ABC or whatever. Every Sunday they would do. You guys are so young. You don't even remember this stuff.
No.
So Disney used to do a movie every week, and it was, you know,
Like a release from
if
the
I
vault?
recall,
Like on the
correctly,
Disney Channel?
Yeah, well, the vault was not a thing yet because that's DVD.
There was
land.
nothing in the vault yet.
That is so 1990s of you to say. No, it was stuff like, gosh, I'm yelling.
I don't know if we were rich enough for the Disney Channel.
No, it wasn't even Disney
There
Channel.
wasn't
It was
such
like
thing as
broadcast
this channel.
TV. So it was.
Ty grew up where you just turn the TV on and it's whatever
There
was
was
on.
like four stations, like Channel 4, Channel 2, Channel 5, Channel 13 came along a little later. So, you know, the major broadcasters, Fox, or the major networks, Fox, ABC, NBC, CBS, right? So on ABC, they would do a Disney movie, and it was like Herbie Goes Bananas.
Oh, yeah.
Or,
We
some of
loved Herbie
older
and the Love
ones.
Bug.
Like,
Yeah.
we did watch
I don't
those
remember
classics,
Mary
too.
Poppins or any of those. I think those were like making money at Blockbuster Video.
So we're not showing those
didn't-
for free.
Yeah, exactly. But all of the like B tier movies
Yeah.
would show up. But my family kind of fell into the same category as yours, Brad.
But every once in a while, we'd watch those stereotypical, like The Sound of Music, Herbie,
Oh, yeah.
Herbie the Love Bug,
Yeah.
The classics.
you know, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang,
RoboCop.
RoboCop's thrown in there. Like, of course, RoboCop.
Can you fly, Bobby? Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So it's for us, we were the same way. We watched the action rated R.
Yes.
You know,
True
and the
Lies.
occasional
True
True Lies.
Lies. Great
Love that
movie.
movie
there was the
still.
occasional boobies that would show up on the
Yep.
screen.
And you pretend like
And
all
you
your
just-
family's in
wait,
the room
what?
and you don't.
Yeah.
you're the
You
only
pretend we
one
don't
that
even see
sees
it.
Don't look at anybody. No
Yeah.
side eyeing this
no
one.
eye contact. Like,
It'll-
let's hope it's
it'll
not
be
too long
gone.
of a scene.
Yeah, exactly. That was the hard part, right? It's like, okay, it's still going. Okay, this is awkward. The longer it goes, the more awkward it gets.
I should pretend I'm searching for popcorn in the popcorn bowl.
I'm not watching them.
I remember like the Steven Seagal movies every once in a while would be rated R and have some boobies in it.
Jean
And
Claude Van Damme's too.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
movies.
Yes. See, that's kind of the typical thing for my family. We like those kind of movies.
Oh, see, we would watch like Romancing the Stone and
Let's
Jewel
talk
of
to
the Night.
Whitney here. Let's talk to
One of those
female
had
here.
some boobies in it too.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. Which
Raiders
one?
of the Lost Ark. Romancing the Stone or Jewel. One of them. They went to like
Jewel
a
of the
tribe.
Nile.
Like they went to like an African tribe.
Is this
that
like
was
the
Oh,
following.
that
featured
doesn't
films
count.
for family?
No,
Like,
You
That's
can
does
get
anybody
that in
I
the
remember
school
love those
library. The National Geographic. Those boobies don't count.
So for the listeners on here, if you're not from Utah, or I guess if you're not LDS, in Utah there was a film company here that would take films and they would edit out swear words.
No,
or
that's not. But that's not what they
they
were doing.
But that's what they started with, right? And then they started coming out with their own movies.
The
that
only
were
thing that I
PG.
remember is they had their
Yeah,
own
so that's
movies.
VidAngel.
Oh,
And
There was
Vid
another
Angel
one
did
called
their
Clean
own.
Flicks.
But feature films for families was their own thing. They were
okay, so that
clean
was-
films.
So they didn't edit the videos.
They didn't edit.
Okay.
It was all like a clean film. And those were some really good movies.
They were pretty lame.
If I could find them now, I would totally make my kids watch it.
remember-
Behind the Waterfall?
Really?
My brother.
No
I
one
never
watched
saw
the.
that.
Oh my gosh! We
my gosh.
watched so many feature films for families, and I still have a soft spot.
My
in my heart for
brother,
those.
my brother Jeff,
Nice.
which we'll tell stories about Jeff in a later date.
a little bit of
Very
a troubled youth.
troubled youth, colorful individual, no longer with us. God rest his soul.
Rest in peace, Jeff.
He worked for feature films for families.
Oh, he did.
He did. He did for years. And
So
Well, they were
just saying that
expensive.
We've never
question the
watched-
legitimacy of feature films for families.
exactly. And that's why we never watched any of them.
I can't believe you guys didn't watch it. They were actually, we loved them.
They were horrible.
They were
where-
so good.
Where's the guns?
Who starred in those? Did they ever
Not
have any
one person
talent?
you would ever know.
Someone from your
Okay.
local high school in the community college. Like
I have no
one.
idea, but they had really good like plot lines about
okay.
like one
Good story.
story. I can't even remember what it's called, but like a girl goes back in time. She switches. You find out later she switched positions with like
Her mother.
her grandpa's sister. So like
Oh.
like
A
but it
pioneer.
was right before the Great Depression, and she had kept saying like, if I was alive back then, I would have warned all of you guys because they lost the farm and all this stuff, right? So she
sure.
ends up going back and trying to prevent her family from losing all this stuff, but she realizes in the end that no one believes her. Like she really can't prevent it from happening.
I
She
like
didn't.
that.
She
That's
didn't have the
clever.
sports
That's a
almanac
good
or
story.
almanac like Back to the Future.
They were all just like good, heartfelt like movies. Like they left
Feel
you
good
feeling,
stories.
feeling good
Yeah,
at the
I love
end.
it.
And
They
for
were
kids,
good
it was
moral-
like
good
good.
moral
They were good
stories.
moral.
That's what feature films for family was.
But our laundry movie at home was The Last of the Mohicans.
Like, which is the
Oh,
weirdest thing
of
ever.
course.
Like they watched Last. of the
We watched
Mohicans,
Last of the Mohicans
Isn't
when we
that
folded
rated R?
laundry. It was rated R. It was.
Wow. Wow.
but their family only got to watch
Daniel
it during.
Day-Lewis, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
good
yeah.
old Daniel Day-Lewis. So hot.
But yeah,
That was I don't know why, but
Done a
the
bad film. He's so good.
music score in it was so good. I don't think I really understood as a kid like what was actually going on in the movie,
sure,
but
sure.
he was very hot. The Indians were like attractive and like you know what I mean. And they're rescuing the girls and like you're like oh yeah.
we did
I
watch
like
that.
this.
We watched like the Braveheart movies,
Braveheart, Patriot,
Patriot. Like those were
No.
great.
Civil War with
Like there was some Braveheart
his
titty
name?
in there. I think.
You guys watch like Robin Hood Men in Tights?
Like we watched that too,
Okay.
but I
That
mean,
was
there's
like-
no
that was like my
real
family.
violence.
and the Kevin Costner Robin Hood was solid.
Dances
That was
with
a favorite.
Wolves as well.
Oh, Dances with
yeah.
Wolves. We watched that a
Avatar
lot.
1,
Tonka?
I like to call it.
Dances with Wolves was a great movie.
was a
Yes,
great
it was,
movie.
for sure. Gosh, what else? The sport films were really popular at my house too. So Hoosiers, a lot of Hoosiers.
I don't even know what that is.
Well, I watched that, but it wasn't
It's
a big movie.
Indiana high school goes to the state tournament. They're troubled coaches, blah blah blah. It's kind of a
See, as we started growing up, we started watching like once my little brother and little sister started growing up, we started watching like Air Bud and
Air Bud.
stupid ones
Yeah.
like that, like
Yeah.
Space
the
Jam.
Rookie,
I know that one.
Spy Kids, all 13 Spy
Kids.
Kids.
No,
movies.
I never
all
watched Spy Kids.
48 Spy Kids and
How about Field of Dreams? Did you
Field of
watch
Dreams.
That was a
Another good
great
one.
movie.
Yeah, that's a great
I
one.
love that movie.
Kevin Costner was
So,
back in our house.
Kevin Costner is still
Armageddon.
I love
That's a
it.
little
Armageddon
later.
was a
That's
good
little
one. That
later.
was a
That's
little
not
later.
from-
I was probably junior high-ish. What was okay? Do you
City-
guys remember
City
like
Slickers?
City Slickers? Is
I
a good
love
one.
City
That's a good one.
Slickers.
Great
Oh
movie.
Do you guys
my gosh.
remember like?
Princess Bride?
Oh, that's a great
so
one.
many
But like
movies.
growing up, what are some of the movies that stand out as like everybody was talking about this movie? Do you get? Cause so for
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
Titanic came out when I was in 5th grade.
Oh my gosh.
And that was such like, and
I got home from
everybody.
my mission and stuff. Titanic.
When he's like, I remember being 4 years old.
No, and it was such a big deal, and everybody was seeing it. And I wanted to see it so bad, but because of he draws her nude
Oh yeah.
and everything, I mean,
Classic.
the ship sinks, and I think my parents thought that would scare me, so they didn't want me to see it. But I literally begged for like weeks to see that movie because everybody was seeing it, and it was such like a big thing. Did you guys ever see Grease?
Yes.
Of course.
Oh,
Yes.
we were obsessed with it. And that's one of the movies.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
Tell me more. Tell me. That was one of the movies, though, like I watched when I was a little bit older because we watched that thing when I was pretty young and we knew all the words to the songs and we were singing that at the top of our lungs. And then growing
later
up
in
and you're
life
like,
comes-
I probably shouldn't have been watching that as like an 8-year-old kid singing all these songs about the woes of
But how often have
maybe
you,
being pregnant.
how often have you watched a movie later in life and realized, wow, I really didn't know what was going on in that movie when I
Quite
saw
a few,
it
but that was definitely one that I was like, I think I was a little too young for that one.
Beauty School Dropout.
Well, it's like Dirty Dancing. Like I remember as a kid, all of my friends' siblings would watch Dirty Dancing and they would talk about it.
Love Dirty Dancing.
And I was like,
That's still
okay,
one of my
that's
favorite
obviously like a striptease movie. That's what I thought as a child. And
Sure,
I don't think
Dirty
I watched
Dancing.
Dirty Dancing until I married you. And then we
And then we what?
watched it. Well, we watched it and I was like, wait, what the hell? I'm like, as a kid, I didn't watch this because I thought it was some like porno movie.
Nope.
And now it's just about baby dancing.
Nobody puts baby in the
Nobody
corner.
puts baby.
Nobody does.
No,
But
and then there's Flashdance.
Flashdance is a great one too.
never
That's
watched
more.
that.
That's
Footloose,
more of like
Footloose
a
2. Like there's all these dance movies in the past.
Footloose is a great movie.
Did you say Footloose 2?
No, just Footloose.
Oh,
As well as.
As well as.
I was like, Footloose 2?
Footloose 2 is another.
What?
Not 2, but
It's with
Not with the number
Walmart,
2.
Kevin Bacon, somebody else that looks like him. It's
not
like,
with the number 2, but with the
I see.
word
Also, yes. Yeah, yeah.
also.
Oh, Footloose was great. Dirty Dancing is still
And
a great
filmed
movie.
right here in Happy Valley. So
That's right.
Right here at the Lehigh Roller Mills.
It doesn't come up in conversation as much as I hoped.
Let me tell you a cool fact.
We do allow dancing here.
Okay, one of the other really big movies I remember in like sleepover age, right? So you're having sleepovers, and of course,
Wait,
everybody
what?
wants to watch
At
like
the age
Tell
of
me
like
more about
22,
a
24.
scary movie.
22 to 24 years
Yes,
old.
exactly.
Did
like
you guys watch
11,
Dirty
12.
Dancing at your sleepovers? Please.
No,
tell me
we
you
watched
did.
like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
That is awesome.
And then you'd always be like, okay, I don't want to be the last person to fall asleep because I'm going to be in a room by
yeah.
myself.
I gotta stay
Oh,
up
yeah.
for the chainsaw guy. Like I can't go to sleep and be
Oh,
in
my
charge
Oh
of
no.
everyone.
I'm like, I got to fall asleep fast before everybody else.
That's funny because at one of my buddy's birthday parties, he was like my best buddy of the year or whatever. So I went with him and his mom to Blockbuster to get a couple of VHS videos, for his birthday
Did you guys
party.
have the pass, or did you?
I don't
Or was
We
that
never
before
had
the
the
pass?
pass. I don't think.
I don't
Was that
know
before the pass? Probably.
Oh yeah, for sure. Blockbuster was right next door to Little Caesars Pizza in Orem, Utah. So it was like always a double stop, right?
Yeah.
And it was his birthday.
That's a good night. Yeah.
So we went and we rented. Well, as we were walking through the place, I'm like, dude, we should totally get the Toxic Avenger. And he's like, okay, that sounds great. And so his mom looks at it and she's like, it's rated R. And I'm like, yeah, but there's nothing bad in it. And she's like, okay.
Oh,
So she
okay,
rents
great.
it for us.
What is that?
Yeah,
I
I don't know what it is.
It was it was like, you have let's call it the A tier of 80s horror films. And that would be like A Nightmare on Elm Street. It would be like Halloween. It would be like Friday the 13th.
Okay.
Later you'd add Hellraiser into that. I would, because I like that movie. This was like, we have a quarter of the budget to make our film.
This is an indie film.
So what we're going to
Horror
do
movie.
is a lot of makeup and a lot of boobs. And that's what Toxic Avenger was. A lot of boobs. And we were like, 9.
Nice.
Yeah.
Coolest movie ever.
And I'm like, and my buddy's looking at me. He's like, if my mom sees boobs, we're dead. And I'm like, there's only one set of boobs. We're good. I hadn't seen the movie.
There's
I
only
didn't
one
know.
set of boobs
Happens,
every
they're
couple
out
minutes.
all the time.
All the time.
It's the same set,
Every other
but-
scene, I was just like,
Oh,
this
man.
is amazing, but we're going to get killed. We are going to be
We
in
are
trouble.
never going to be allowed to have a sleepover again. Oh, my friends, we would go toilet papering.
Yeah, we
Okay.
didn't do
All right.
anything that would be unlawful.
Lies.
Lies.
Yeah,
Fabrications.
complete lies.
We would
Lies
toilet
and
paper and then
fabrications.
we would come back home, back to my friend's house, and we learned all of the cheers to Bring It On.
Oh, yeah.
A
Yeah.
little bit later in
That
life
was-
for
that was-
the rest
So
of us.
what was the kind of rebel gal's name?
In the movie.
Eliza Dushku. So I actually, Alexa thinks that we're talking to her.
Eliza
We are talking to
douche
her.
canoe? What did you say?
Oh, yeah. What?
The gal with the brown hair
characters?
that falls in love with the brother is Eliza Dushku. And she if I recall correctly, was raised LDS in Utah County.
Oh, really?
I sat behind her in the movie theater in Provo one day. And anyway,
That's a pretty far stretched.
she hugged me the whole movie. She just hugged on me.
She hugged
that
my
didn't
leg.
happen, but
Oh my
no,
gosh.
but I met her. It was nice.
So did you guys watch movies then? You said you watched horror movies, right?
Well, okay. So today at work we were talking about like what horror movies came out like when you were a kid or like junior high, high school that you guys remember being like a big deal and did you watch them? Did you like them? What was the big thing?
I think I remember in elementary school, Children of the Corn came out, and one of the girls from our school invited all the cool kids, if you will.
Did you get an invite?
I did, but I didn't go.
Why?
But it was to
You were
Children
scared?
of the Corn.
My parents would not have
no, my
allowed me
parents
to
would
see
not have
that.
allowed that. They
You're
wouldn't
like,
have allowed that.
My parents said Children of the Flower is fine, but Children of the Corn is...
So-
Not that one. We draw the line.
They went and
We're-
saw Children of the Corn. I never saw it.
We're
still to
gluten
this day.
intolerant, so we cannot go
Well, there's
see
a
Children
lot-
of the Corn.
We don't
That's
allow
the
that in our
opposite.
house. We like
got that
there's a lot
backwards.
Children of the Corn now.
Oh, I know.
But I don't think I've ever seen any of them all the way through.
I don't think I've seen any of them.
Have you seen like the Saw movies or anything
Oh.
like that?
Okay, yeah. I
When
haven't.
that came
there's
out, that was
ton
like on
now.
a new level. Though,
That was
one,
that
for me.
first one was
For me, at
like
least.
that first one for me when I saw it, I'm like that idea was so different from any other horror movie. I was like that was actually really cool.
I can't even contribute to this conversation. I'm not a horror guy, so I've never seen them.
Well, I haven't seen a ton of horror movies either, but that one like kind of screwed with me. I'm like, oh shit, like this is like a real life something that could happen.
What about Pretty Woman? That's one of
That
my
horror
favorite
movie.
horror movies
Oh my
ever.
gosh.
Wait, how are we spelling
Richard
this?
Gere.
How are we
That
spelling
Richard
this?
Gere, I celebrate all of his movies.
I didn't see that movie until I was an adult either. So.
Oh, so there
Did you guys ever see Jeepers Creepers?
No.
Oh, I did see that.
I remember.
How about the
remember that one.
Leprechaun movies, like Leprechaun?
Never
3
saw
or-
that.
I
Okay,
didn't see
they were
Leprechaun.
awful.
I saw all the
I guess
classics.
they kind of fall into the horror. Yeah, me too.
I saw the classics, but I didn't see
Like the aforementioned Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a majority of those, not all of them.
You guys were saying that you never really got into like the horror genre. So like, what is your favorite genre of movies?
As a computer programmer, it is my obligation to be into
Black Hat.
cyberpunk, like sci-fi stuff. The Matrix, number
Oh,
one of
love
all
The
time,
Matrix.
hands down.
Good movies.
I even
Those are
like
very good.
The Matrix 2 and The Matrix 3, even though they're awful movies.
I like them all. I like
They're
all the
terrible,
Matrix.
but-
They came out when I was in high school.
As Whitney said, I'm entertained by every movie.
He is. I'm
Pretty
trying
much.
to think of. We've seen a few movies in the theater where we've left, and I'm like, that movie did not make sense. Like, it didn't even come together at the end. Like, I can't even think of what movie
Which
it was.
movie?
But the last movie not the last movie, but we saw one not too long ago where the whole way home, I'm like, they didn't wrap this up. They didn't even touch on this.
I
Like,
hate-
this
I
doesn't
hate
even
when they
like
do
this
that.
didn't even make any sense.
And in my head, I'm like, man, that was a pretty good movie. Very
Brad's like
entertaining.
just totally entertained, and I'm like, it drives
like
me
Was it
crazy.
Tenet? Because I saw Tenet and I
I
could
didn't.
not
I don't
follow
think
it.
I saw Tenet.
But I was doing other stuff.
So we saw
that's
Tenet.
probably why.
Who were you doing?
We saw Tenet. What?
That's personal.
We saw Tenet. No,
I haven't
did you
been
see
on a
Tenet?
date
I didn't.
since
I don't think I
August.
saw it.
I know I saw Tenet. I just
It was with the guy that
Assumed it
passed
was with
away.
you.
The Wakanda Forever guy. That
Oh, yeah,
Black
I did not
Panther,
see
he passed
that.
away. So it was like his last movie. Wait, was it that or was it 27 Bridges or something? Whatever the Brooklyn Bridges thing was, or the New York. I forget.
remember that one.
I think he was in that. But anyway,
Oh no.
it
I
was
can't-
very
it drives me
like
crazy,
skittish. Like I saw Memento. Did you ever see Memento?
Oh, yeah.
Where it kind of plays it backwards.
And he has
Brilliant movie. I loved it, but I had to watch it like
That one came out in
honestly
like the
twice,
late
3
90s,
times to-
early 2000s.
Yeah, exactly. And I
He
like
basically
Guy
has
Pearce.
like narcolepsy, right? Or not narcolepsy, insomnia.
Is that
right?
what it is? Or short
And he has to
term memory
take
or
he has to
something
take
like that?
he has to take
He,
pictures.
tattoos himself to give himself clues on what happened.
I think it's like an insomnia movie.
Anyway, it was really hard for me to follow. So Tenet was even worse. I don't know why, but
No, when movies do not wrap up like loose ends or what, that drives me crazy because I will think of, like, I will go home and I will think about that movie and then be like asking a million questions, and Brad's totally just like, it was fine. It was like entertaining.
My 2
I'm like,
hours was
no, it doesn't
entertaining,
make sense.
and I'm never going to think about it again.
That drives me
you
crazy.
just call it good.
I just call it good.
No, there's a bunch of movies like that though. Like, okay, so being a Matrix fan, the Wachowskis, who were brothers and then they were sisters, and now who knows what they are. They made a movie, I think it's called Jupiter Rising or something like that, and they had a humongous budget. And
Yeah, I never saw that either.
Flopped. It
Did it?
Who was in
flopped
Jupiter
harder.
Rising? Was that Val Kilmer? No.
No, what's his name? The guy I always talk about that owns the distillery in Driggs. What's his name? He's in Full Monty, I think, something like that.
Right now, somebody's yelling at their radio
Anyways,
at you.
yeah, they're like, it's so and so. Oh my gosh, I am drawing complete blanks. The gal from That 70s Show, Mila Kunis, I think is it.
Oh, yeah.
I think, or Mila Kunis or whatever.
Yeah,
her name
Mila
is.
Kunis and Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum, yes. Okay, they're in it. Anyway,
I just looked it up online. So.
it had the makings of a humongous story arc, but the movie totally flopped. So obviously they're not going to spend whatever the budget was again to do a sequel that's going to flop as well. So anyway,
Right.
I that kind of stuff is disappointing. So anyway, I don't know where I was going with that, but sci-fi in general is like my go-to.
Your thing.
Yeah, totally.
Good
Aliens,
sci-fi.
Predator, Prometheus, all of those kind of aliens. There's a bunch of different movies that kind of play into the Prometheus universe or so, or the Aliens universe. And I kind of dig that kind of stuff. But then I also like super thinker movies like Ex Machina, I think is the one where
What?
I called it Ex Machina. But,
well, it's something like that. Whatever it is, Ex Machina, Ex Machina, where the programmer is hired into this company, and then the CEO invites him to his like private lair house to do some special stuff. And he's not there to program. He's there to interact with a robot.
Oh.
And the robot, the robot kind of tricks him in. Well, I'm giving spoilers at this point. That was what we got to be careful of in the movies.
Well,
This is
it
spoilers.
came out years ago. So.
Yeah, if you haven't
anyways.
seen it yet, that's
If
on
you
you.
haven't seen it, it's been on Netflix forever.
I've never seen it, so go ahead and tell me about it.
He interacts with this robot and falls in love with her, and then he's a pretty good programmer, so he figures out how to basically hijack the house and let her out, and she ends up locking him in and escaping herself. So
Oh. You guys
that
ever
wasn't
seen?
very
turnabout is fair play.
You ever seen Lars and the Real Girl?
Yes, I have.
I don't know why that last show you're talking about reminded me of that. That was a good movie.
I see, and then her as well with
What's the one with-
or not River Phoenix?
Yeah, I never
Not the
actually
What's the
saw
one
that
with
one.
Robin Williams where he's a robot?
Oh,
Robin
Bicentennial Man. The Bicentennial
I never
Man.
saw
Never
that.
saw it. I just
Oh, you
remember the
didn't?
I just remember the preview.
No,
I think I was too young
it's
when I saw that when it
Mrs.
came
Doubtfire.
out. Another great one.
Another great movie though.
No, Bicentennial Man. I do not really remember the plot of that movie except for that he was
Goodwill Hunting 2.
a robot
what
and he wanted to
Good
be a
Will
man.
Hunting. Great movie. Great
That's a
movie.
good one.
Awesome.
Okay, so if you
I
could
haven't seen
watch
that. I'll
one
have to watch
movie
that.
for the rest of your life,
Oh dang, that's a crazy question.
that was a crazy question.
Honestly, for me, it would be something. It wouldn't be Matrix, although it could be Matrix. I think
be.
it would be something like Inception.
Inception's a good one.
Ooh,
It's
that's
a
a
good
good
one.
Like I just
Complex
feel like
movie.
movies now, as we jump to current day, I struggle with all the remakes. I struggle with rehashing all the fucking Marvel movies or DC movies.
Yeah,
all that
I
stuff.
quit kinda
I'm
watching those a little
over
bit
all
ago.
that stuff.
The 14 Ninja
like-
Turtles they did.
I just feel like Inception and Interstellar, which are by the same guy, right? Is it Chris Nolan or I don't know who it is. I'm being slammed by movie critics right now, but those movies are just well thought out. They're new stories. It's
Yeah.
new. It's like people being daring and doing cool stuff. And I love.
See, and I
that kind of
love
stuff.
all of like the military type movies, the shoot 'em up movies. Like Shooter was a great one. A lot of
Shooter,
the
yeah.
like 13th Hour, all the military ones that are out there. I love those. Are the movies that I'm like, oh, I need to go to the movie theater and actually see that.
How about John Wick?
John Wick, great movie.
Oh my god!
We saw the last one together, Ty and I.
right for my birthday.
I think I've only seen the
we
first
went and
one.
Saw 4, and it was awesome.
That's a great movie.
Whitney, you have not lived until you've seen all of them back to back.
Back to back.
Well, I do love me some Keanu Reeves. So
There you go. He's in it.
what?
Yes. No
Oddly,
kidding.
one of the main characters.
He's a very attractive.
He's like the number 2 guy in the whole show.
But he's one of those guys too, like on social media, like everybody always posts him of how good of a guy he is.
Yeah, like he's a super nice
Like
guy.
on the
supposedly,
subway, he's always
yeah.
giving up
Yeah.
his seat. He's always standing for people.
Yeah.
Like, good dude.
You
Yeah,
know,
very good
the
looking,
same
very
posts
attractive.
don't happen about Ellen DeGeneres. You know, it's shocking.
Weird.
No, I heard a story that he was filming somewhere in Louisiana or something like that, and kept driving past this particular house, and the house had a sign out in front saying, you know, hey, Keanu, good luck with filming, or whatever it said, you know. And he actually stopped by the house and like took pictures of the family and stuff like that, which
Oh,
I
that's
think
so-
is
that's so
super
nice.
down to earth,
good.
super cool. And then there's all the stories about him giving money to all the other people that helped on The Matrix.
Yeah.
Because nobody got paid anything on that movie, the original one. And he shared with everybody all the money he made. So
It's awesome.
pretty awesome.
So what would be the one movie for you, Whitney?
I don't know, because I also like movies that kind of make you think.
Mhm.
I think those are great. But then
So Barbie.
Barbie, yes, how did you know? I still haven't seen Barbie.
Me either.
No, I don't know. I feel like I would need 5, right? Like I would need like the one movie that really gets you thinking, but then
Yeah.
also like a feel good movie, and you know, like you need
Yeah,
one
there's-
for every
There's-
mood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different genres for different moods and different times of life for sure.
Okay, Ty, you mentioned at the beginning that like cartoon ones put you to sleep.
Totally.
But do you have one that like could be a go-to cartoon movie that you'll watch every time?
Ooh. Geez. No, I don't.
I was just thinking I really love Megamind. Have you seen
Oh,
Megamind?
really?
Oh,
No.
yeah, that's a good movie.
Is that a
That
good
one's
one?
a good
You
one.
haven't seen that?
Oh, the next time I need a nap, I'll.
No, that's a good one that you might actually like because there's some technical stuff in there.
Well, and there's a lot of like, I mean, it's Will Ferrell. So,
Can't go wrong with Will
right?
Ferrell.
You can't go wrong.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any cartoons that
I do love a
I've
good
seen that I
quotable
actually
movie
like.
too. And that one is totally
Okay,
quotable.
Yeah, no, I do too. I can appreciate that for sure. I like it when there's a little bit of
Boobs.
clearly when there's dialogue for everybody in the family. You know, the stuff that kind of goes
Totally.
over the kids' heads.
Yes.
But you know, kind of see the parents pick up on and stuff like that. Of course, I've got that child, Lennox, that's from at parent teacher conference. His first grade teacher told us that, you know, occasionally she'll say things while she was giving her lesson plans and then she would realize that there was something innuendo-ish or whatever that would go over everybody's heads, but she kind of chuckled to herself. And then she would look and see Lennox laughing in the back of the room because he caught it.
Totally got it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
He's always been pretty quick like that.
Oh, not us.
For that
My
kind of
my
humor, but-
13-year-old is finally at an age where like all of those
Starting to
things are
catch
funny.
those things,
Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. No, I can't even think of like Toy Story and stuff like that. I was more interested in the fact that it was Pixar that was releasing it, and the whole story behind Pixar with Ed Catmull and Steve Jobs being involved in it, and you know, all the Apple history and stuff like that. Like that's the only reason that kept my attention. And
What a nerd.
total nerd. I am a geek through and through. So That's kind of where I'm at with that. John Lasseter was the other guy in that. He ended up being like the chief creative officer at Disney or whatever and stuff like that.
So not even like the Brave Little Toaster or
Great movie.
Oh my gosh.
Great movie. We did watch like movies like that growing up too.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah.
I think we tried to watch it with the kids or something. And I was like, this is a weird movie,
The Brave
actually.
Little Toaster?
Did you ever see
didn't know
that?
that
What the fuck is that?
He's a brave little toaster, man.
Okay. Tell me more.
The guy,
The toaster that's brave.
it's a toaster, but
Are
it's
his
all
slots
like,
wide enough for bagels? as
wow,
well
I
as-
didn't know where that was
Probably.
going, but
Probably.
for a hot
He's
dog,
friends.
Size matters. Brad.
He's friends with like a little heating blanket.
there's a vacuum.
The vacuum.
Yeah, the blanket.
Right.
Like there's all these household things, but they think that their like
he bathe
owner,
with
their
people in it?
master or whatever. They feel like I can't remember if he went for a
I don't
weekend
remember
somewhere.
the story, but I remember.
Anyway,
the
they think
story.
he's gone, and so they go out on an adventure to find him. And to be honest, the movie, like watching it as an
But he's
adult, I was
brave,
like,
so he's really
"This is a
far away.
weird movie."
Yeah, like
Okay.
he's not
But-
afraid to go out in rain as a toaster. You know, like that's pretty brave.
That is.
Well,
yeah.
he was not brave.
But
He's
he
actually
was
afraid of
short
like
out.
everything,
He is afraid of
and then
everything.
he has to be brave. So
Well, the
good
blanket,
for
the
him.
warming blanket's kind of the wet blanket of the movie.
that's
Oh.
true. The blanket is the
There
one
was
that's terrified of
foreshadowing in
everything.
that. The
Yeah.
rain, the
Yeah.
warming blanket.
They're all electrical items.
Yeah.
They tend not to do well. And
How far could he really go? Like he has to
he
plug
went pretty
into the
damn
wall,
far,
right?
He went pretty damn
No,
far.
they went pretty far. They went to like
Did he
the
have an
next
extra
city or
long
something.
cord or
No, they're not plugged in.
They're
None
not
of them are
plugged in.
plugged
They're
in.
just alive.
Yeah, they just have
Okay.
eyes and stuff.
the sentient toasters out there?
Exactly. You might want to watch out for them.
All right.
Yes.
He's the hero of so many.
Solar panel, solar powered toaster.
All right. Okay. Yeah. I'll have to look that one up.
What? What? Okay. So different little topic on movies. What movies have you watched that have been like emotional for you?
Ooh. Ooh. I'm
Anything-
sure there's
anything come
something
to mind?
like
A Star
terribly
is Born.
embarrassing for me.
I had a very
Oh,
hard time with
yeah,
A Star
that
is
was rough.
Born. That was a rough one.
I was with you for that one.
I would say episode 7
Don't say Star Wars.
of Star Wars because I was so pissed off that it sucked. Like I was mad. That was the emotion, anger. No, but it like an emotional. I don't know. Give me a minute. I think like Field of Dreams.
Oh, that was
pretty
a
emotional
really
for
good
me.
one.
Like, just like when Shoeless Joe gets out there and there's like this thing that it's his dad or whatever, you know. Maybe I made that up, but it's like implied
He can't go back.
or whatever. He has a catch with him or whatever, you know. I just
Yes. Oh, that was a
like,
good
those
movie.
moments are pretty touching for me. So
I think as a young child, I can't remember if it was City Slickers or not. And anyways, they were on like this. They had like a horse-drawn carriage, and they were going forward towards a cliff. And it could not have been. It may not have been City Slickers, but they went. The horses ended up going off a cliff, and the humans jumped off just in time.
yes.
Anyways, they survived. And I remember as a kid, whatever this movie was, the horses went over a cliff, and I was like, "This freaking sucks!" Like the horses had nothing to do with any of this,
Yeah.
and they're dead.
They were just
And I
there.
remember I was like the only child in the house, and I'm like, we're watching a Sunday night movie,
Oh, of course.
and I'm sitting there like crying with my blanket, like trying to like cover my face. And I'm like, I have this emotional connection to these damn horses because they went over a cliff because the damn humans guided them that way.
Oh.
Anyway, it was like a very minimal part of the movie, but for me, that was like a very, very emotional part.
Was
I
that
think-
the movie you would watch forever?
No.
Yes. The movie with the horses.
But I remember another movie that
I
gave
gotta
me
watch it again. Maybe the horses will make it this time.
probably the only movie that's ever given me nightmares or like terrors of going to sleep was The Ghost in the Darkness. Did you ever see that movie?
Oh,
with Val Kilmer.
About the lions.
Yes,
About the lions in
hunt.
Africa.
Yeah,
which is a
lion
true
hunt.
story. The lions
Right,
were in
right.
Smithsonian. I don't know if they still are.
Right. It was the sequel to The Island of Dr. Moreau.
Which that's the only
No,
movie I've
I'm
ever
kidding.
walked out of. Oh.
I actually walked out of it too. Now that I'm recalling it,
But I remember going to sleep as a child after watching that, like a young child, and I was on the top bunk of a bunk bed.
And you thought a lion was
The
going to come
lion.
and
Hell
get you?
yeah, they were going to come to Utah and they were
Oh,
going to
yeah.
run up the stairs and try to kill one of us. And so I'm
Good
sleeping
thing
as
you're on the
close.
top bunk.
I'm sleeping as close to the wall as possible because that lion's pretty tall, I know. And they might snatch me out of my bed.
well,
Might as well.
the dozens of lions that come to Utah are already dead. So you're safe.
Don't go to the
one,
zoo, though.
The one that
Don't-
comes into my
don't go
house,
to the
I just want to make sure he gets my brother first on the bottom
Okay,
bunk.
yeah.
Like I did not want to, but that
my
gave
gosh,
me
that's
nightmares for probably a month after watching that.
Whoa.
I don't
But like
remember.
I could watch Jason and Freddy Krueger killing people all day long and be fine. Go to right bed.
I'm
I
right
used
sure
to-
there were movies that gave me nightmares, but I can't think of one. Like nothing comes to mind when I think.
But the
How about
only other
Watcher in the Woods? Did that give you?
I don't think I ever saw that.
I'm so old.
I never saw that
I
either.
keep dating myself.
Was that black and white? Was it?
It's where they
was that
had
a play?
red rum on the window and it was murder backwards or something like that.
Red rum.
Red Rum. Yeah.
That was like the scary Disney movie growing up.
So I do remember
Disney
watching.
It was a Disney movie.
I do remember watching The Shining at
Buena
my
Vista,
cousin's
I think.
house.
The
I
Shining.
flew.
yeah.
wow.
I flew to Oklahoma, and anyways, I've
To see
never.
the movie?
No,
That
no,
is
no, no.
a big trip to see
No.
the movie.
My mom worked for the airlines. We got free buddy passes. I went
Oh,
to
yeah.
see her sister, my
Hey,
aunt.
is that why you guys fell in love? Because both of your moms work for airlines.
Different times, but yeah.
different
Okay,
times, different
all right.
positions.
Wait, what?
That's weird.
Wait, what?
You guys too.
One's a flight attendant. One was a call person that took
Call
reservations.
person?
Reservations.
Reservation. Yeah.
Reservations.
Reservationist.
Yeah, sure. That's the name.
She lives on the reservation? What?
Not Native American.
All right.
So I went to my aunt's house, and my cousin was around my same age. I think she's a year or two older than me. And we've never had much interaction. Anyways, go to Oklahoma. We're sitting there watching. I'm sitting on a couch in her room. She's on her bed. And we watch The Shining. I've
Great.
never seen it. And when the movie ends, I look over at the bed. My cousin's gone.
Oh,
I am between
And
her
her
and the
twin?
door, and
Her
I
and
would
the
have
twin?
known. I would have known if she left the room. The door is still shut. She just happens to roll in her sleep, and she fell off of her bed, and I had no idea.
Oh
What?
my gosh.
So the movie
just thought it was
ends.
part of the
I'm
movie.
sitting there, as the credits are going through, like, holy shit! Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know maybe what.
That's a
I
long
don't-
movie too.
I don't know
For
the
sure.
way around this house. My cousin just got sucked up by this scary movie, and they're going to come try to kill me. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm freaked out as a kid that's probably 10 years old at this point, maybe 12. But I'm like, oh my gosh. And I sat there for probably 2 hours with like a white TV with like the fuzz, like
Oh.
the static.
just
now you're
frozen,
on. Now you're on the
scared.
poltergeist.
Yes.
What?
Sitting there freaked out of my mind. And then my cousin, she all of a sudden stands up, scares the shit out of me. Like she's just like, I need to get back into bed. It scared the hell out of me. But
And then you and your cousin
Here's
kissed.
Johnny. Oh my gosh. No, they just shared a bed, Ty.
no,
Oh.
we did not share a bed. But as soon as she got up, I thought that I could finally move.
tell you right now, there was no
I
bed
just felt
shared
safe
between
enough
these
to move
cousins.
after that.
Okay, she's actually alive. I can
She's
go to bed.
alive.
Okay.
The twins
all right.
in the movie did not steal her, but man, that was
No,
I
I know that there were like scary movies, and then going to bed, you're like, oh shit, like I am not gonna have. I remember like in my dreams, I remember having this weird dream about this horse that kept running in a circle, but it was the soundtrack in the dream
Was it
that was
Black
scary.
Beauty? What? No,
it was a black
wait,
horse.
no, what's
but it
the-
was like it was horror music playing, like that, just that intense build up music.
Okay.
And I have no idea where like that dream was going, but that I was terrified of that horse.
What's it?
It's weird.
What's the? Okay, the kid who played Spider-Man.
Which one?
Keep with me here.
Okay.
Which one of the 14 kids?
The one that kisses the
First
gal
one.
upside down.
Peter Parker.
That one.
Like,
Hey, that's a fair statement. Yes, he played Peter Parker.
I know who you're talking about.
yeah, I know who you're talking about too. Why can't I think of his name?
He was in a horse movie as like a jockey or something.
Yeah, he was.
Oh,
That's
he was on
right.
Seabiscuit.
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 You saw the horror version of Seabiscuit.
I
in your
totally did
dream.
in my dream.
That's great.
Not good.
That is scary. All right.
is.
So, what was the last great movie you saw? Like, what was the last movie you saw that stands out in your mind?
I don't know. I liked what's it called? What is it?
Who's in it?
Which one? Oh, John Wick 4. That was a
Oh,
good,
John Wick 4.
that was a good one for me.
It was a good one. Is he coming back? That's the question.
Oh, it's true.
They closed it, but they kind of left it open.
Did they?
Well, I've been following online to see what they're saying about it.
This tech
And-
geek over here. No.
They're clearly not tipping their hand. Although there have been a couple of other announced projects that are from the John Wick universe. One's been released, the Continental one, which was the TV show that was on, I don't know, Paramount or something like that.
Yeah.
It's really good. I liked it. But yeah.
What's the last movie you saw, Wendy, that was good?
I don't know. And it's, I feel like I'm mostly like you, Brad. Like I'm entertained by a lot of movies, but I feel like we used to watch a lot of movies, and I don't feel like I've seen a ton of
We used
movies.
to go on like a weekly movie date.
Yeah, we used to see a bunch of
When we were
movies.
part-time parents before
Yeah.
we had Scotty.
Oh, yeah.
Like when Jason had Izzy.
You had the freedom to date.
Yeah, we could go out and we would see
we went on a
movies
date
quite a
once
bit.
week, and we went on a
Nice.
movie
That's cool.
most weeks.
But
Nice.
I just don't feel like, I feel like
But
the
now we
movies that
haven't
we've
really
seen
seen-
lately
it's all
are
kids.
for the kids.
Yeah, it's true.
So
Well,
I don't know.
Mine is probably something Brad would enjoy. Whitney, not so much, I'm guessing. But
Is it a porno?
have you seen... It is not, shockingly enough. Have you seen Sisu,
Oh yes.
the story of the Finnish guy
I
from
love
World
that
War
movie.
II or whatever?
Yeah,
It's
it's good.
kind of in the same vein as Wick.
It is John
right?
Wick, where the guy gets like shot and
Yeah.
blown up 14 times.
Yep.
And still goes and
Sisu is
kills
the
all
dragon on that Disney movie.
Yes,
Oh.
not that though.
Okay.
Not that.
So that would be
This is
mine.
like an Inglorious Bastards and John
Totally.
Wick. And John Wick mixed.
Yes, agreed. Yeah. So that would probably be mine.
Kind of sad that I don't have an answer for this. I literally
Well,
can't
if
think
you
of
had
like the
seen
last.
Barbie, it would probably be Barbie.
You probably would just love
How
that.
could it not be?
That's right.
The Taylor Swift Eras Tour.
That's fair. It was released in theaters. Are you a
I have
Swiftie?
no idea. I do really enjoy Taylor Swift. I was really impressed by that concert.
Yeah.
Actually,
That's cool.
Very
That's a
impressive.
clever way to go about releasing that and letting more people see it. So I think it's
Yeah.
very cool.
And I remember, so like one movie that really like moved me was American Sniper.
Oh, interesting.
So when that came out, I didn't see it in theaters, and I think it was Thanksgiving-ish, maybe Christmas-ish,
Seems
when I saw it. And I saw it at work. So I had to work on the weekend. This is when I was doing civil engineering.
okay.
So I went into my office, and one of my buddies that I worked with, he came in, and he may or may not have pirated it. I don't know.
Okay, sure,
Can't confirm that.
sure.
But we went into our conference
There was a
room.
big thing at the bottom of the video that said, "For your consideration."
Do
But
not
we don't know
record
what this means.
And anyways, we worked in our conference room and watched it.
Okay, cool.
And this was pretty recent after my deployment.
Okay,
Anyways, like that movie,
did it
like,
scare up some PTSD for you? Or?
yeah,
Really?
dude, it was crazy. Like, I couldn't leave work and go home.
Oh wow! Oh my god!
Like, we were having all of our family over, and I just drove around afterwards, like in my own head.
Whoa.
And so I sat there and I was like, oh, that sucks. Like, I get to go home to my family, but this dude was trying to help out.
Yeah.
And he didn't make it
fellow
home,
soldier.
right?
Yeah.
And
that's
so, like,
brutal.
that one screwed with me, dude, for like a while.
I bet.
But like, I went home
bet.
and I wasn't myself. Like, I was so in my head, I fell down the stairs, dude.
What?
in front of Whitney's family.
Holy
They're like, what the
cow.
hell is wrong with you? Like, are you drunk or something? Like, what's going on? Like, I was so jacked up from that, like,
Wow.
mentally from that movie because it hit so close to home
Yeah.
from where I just
I
was.
can only imagine.
Like, it was so odd. Like, I hadn't had anything really hit me like that before
Wow.
that.
Well, no more military movies for you.
But that was pretty close afterwards.
Now we're just doing mercenary movies. Like John Wick.
Now we're just doing John Wick, which is totally fine. Totally fine.
Totally different.
But yeah, that
Same
one,
guns,
that one screwed with me, man. Like,
different plot. I bet. I can only imagine.
That was
I have
weird.
no experience with any of that stuff. So
it was just
I
like a
can't even
weird. It was
imagine.
weird. Like, it was a weird experience that I did not think it would have. I just thought I would have loved the shoot 'em up military
aspect
stuff.
of it. Yeah.
But I think it was so real and so close
So
to home and
reality.
so reality for what
Wow.
I lived through that it really jacked me. Like, it jacked me enough where I fell down the damn stairs at home without having any alcohol.
I love
Anyway.
movies. I just think the whole thing of like you're going and you're being entertained by some storyline is just, it's wonderful.
The
I love movies.
escape is so needed sometimes just to
For sure.
go see something else. And
Well, I think it helps with your own creativity with whatever it is. Like with kids and stuff, they see it and they see this whole new outlook on life or whatever it is.
I
And
love
so I think it helps with,
Broadens our horizons. And
yeah.
This is just before Christmas when
Just
this
before
episode is
Christmas.
being taped. To close, I invite you all to weigh in on the most important movie question during the holidays ever. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie or
course
is
it
it
is.
not?
And do you subscribe to Hallmark channels?
Whitney's
like
a
me
yes.
and Ty.
I'm
Ty-
a yes. It could be the Hallmark connection, but yes. I
Ty
think
subscribes.
yes.
Whitney cheats off of his subscription. But
How about you, Brad? Is Die Hard
Was
a
Die Hard a
movie?
Christmas movie?
I would probably watch it during Christmas. But
What?
I mean,
That-
You're not
say-
answering. You're dodging the question.
I would say yes. I would say yes.
Good answer. All right.
Because my favorite Christmas movie. What's your favorite Christmas movie before we go?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Elf.
Christmas time.
I love
Hands
Elf,
down,
but
Great movie.
probably
I didn't know you were naked.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Oh, that's a good one too.
See, and I have
tip
changed
nipply.
over the last couple of years.
Okay.
So my new favorite
No, you
Christmas
haven't.
movie
Is the Rudolph claymation movie.
That's a good one.
is from 1973.
I wanted to be a dentist.
Is the movie Why Him? Have you seen that?
Why?
Did you watch that one
Yes,
last year?
yeah,
last
you
year, I
told
think
me
I told you about it.
Yes.
That is a good
yes.
one.
That is
It
a good
has
one.
Brian
Is that a Christmas
Cranston.
movie?
Yes,
it happens
it's all
over
about-
Christmas.
And with Key or
Yeah.
Or
Uh-huh.
whatever.
Key and Peele guy,
He's
yeah.
like-
Key and Peele guy,
Oh
James
my gosh.
Franco.
James Franco.
Oh my gosh,
So
that
good.
movie
It's
is so
a very
funny.
adult-esque movie.
Very, very adult, but
very,
very
colorful
funny.
language, but it's very funny. I just find it so hilarious, and it's very much my personality. So
Well,
that has become my new Christmas movie. Not Hallmark created.
No, it's not. Not
My
shot here in Midway, Utah. But, all right.
We'll take it.
That's going to wrap it up for this episode. Don't forget, you can find us online at tipsyneighbors.com, at the Tipsy Neighbors on Instagram, and on X, formerly Twitter, at Tipsy Neighbors. We hope to hear from you soon.